Hi, I'm Coach Fraser again here with the Progress Exam module. And the progressive reports, progressive exams are probably one of the most important systems that you can have in your office. Why? Because I've really been into over 200 offices where I've reviewed their systems, their procedures, their structures, and I'll tell you right now, the majority of chiropractors do a really lousy job, if any at all, on their progress reports or progress exams. So let's clarify that distinction, because a progress exam is the actual visit where you do just the progress exam. The progress report would be the next visit. Where would you report on that? So don't get caught in trying to explain everything during your progress exam. It's really important to place value on that review, that report where you actually have the discussion. Now, let me go back to that comment on the offices that don't do a good progress exam. If you don't put a lot of commitment and time and energy into doing a really good progressive exam, it reflects on the quality of care that you deliver to your clients. And I would argue as well, not only does it reflect on the quality of care, but it almost always mimics your PVA. In that sense, how long do people stick around in your office? Are they lifelong practice members or are they short term? Okay, the more energy, the more commitment and focus you put into a progress exam will determine the long-term clients that stick around in your practice. I've seen it over and over and over. So ask yourself this question: are you doing progress exams lip service by doing 2 or 3 tests that really have no real meaning or value to the client? Or are you actually trying to measure and monitor things that really matter? So initially, in the first year of care, that could look like revisiting all the orthopedic objective tests, the surface EMG, the thermography, the HRV. Those are important tests to follow through with. Do you review x-rays? These are things to really look back at and reflect, where are the positive changes? What's improving in this person's level of function? On the second feature of that, you want to make darn sure that as a progress exam that you're collecting data. The examination is also an opportunity to have a discussion. What does your client value? Why are they really in your office? And what are you doing together to reset new goals over the next period of time, or until the next progress exam is scheduled? This is truly the essence of building a lifelong family wellness-based practice, is to revisit what your clients value, what they're focused on, and what do they want to achieve, and what will you do together to get there. Practices that do this have healthy, long-term, wellness-based practices. The practices that don't value this, they see people drop off regularly because people lose the inspiration. They're no longer getting that sense that the chiropractor is truly connected with them. Or is it a cookie cutter practice? Do you do the same 4 to 5 tests on every person and you're just putting them through? Because people feel that and they don't stick around for that long. So consider this. When you're doing your progress exam, you want to make sure that you're at least collecting appropriate data for that. In those initial few that first year or so, you want to make sure you're collecting good evidence that you did in your initial exam and you're doing comparisons to that. Okay? If they're a long-term wellness patient, you need to start thinking about what kind of measurements you're taking. In my office, it starts to look like, we'll look at stress testing. We'll look at HRV as a really important tool. We'll also look at long-term health questionnaires, right? Lifestyle questionnaires that reflect on the impact, their quality of life. Where can we make some changes? Where can we help influence them? Those are key elements in a progress exam that look and reflect on long-term wellness care. So, key elements as well. Let's establish why, when in the progress report, why they're in your office in the first place. So you want to reestablish that connection with their value system. Okay, that's what keeps them coming. That's why they seek care in the first place. That's why they want to see long-term chiropractic care in your office, is because of their value system. But you also want to make sure that you discuss the reason why they came to your office in the first place. Let's go back over how they got to the original state, okay, and where that came from. And in my office, this usually is a reflection on the 3 T's: the traumas, thoughts, toxins, the accumulation of layers of stress that the body has neurologically integrated into the nervous system in a subluxation pattern, okay? And we want to readdress those things because that people forget. Right? They forget. They just remember what they feel like now day to day, and you want to really make sure we don't fall into that system, the symptom picture. You want to anchor them with the lifestyle benefits of long-term chiropractic care. In terms of the report, this is exactly where you revisit where they were. You want to make sure you update them where they are right now. And this is your key piece to establish new goals. Where are we going? What's the next goal? And to essentially have a new agreement with the client. Okay? If you can establish a new agreement moving forward, you've committed from both parties to agree to carry on with care. Now, this is also a key element: is what kind of client are they? When you had your first new patient examination in your report of findings, you established whether they were a Band-Aid care, reconstructive care, or were they a long-term wellness client. Make sure you honor that choice here, because this is all about integrity. If they're a Band-Aid care and they feel like, oh my gosh, you've changed my world, I want to stick with you, remember, in their heart, okay, they probably are still Band-Aid care. They're just caught up in the emotion of it. And one of the biggest mistakes a chiropractor can make is accepting them as a long-term client when they committed to being a Band-Aid care person, because that's what they knew they were. Because those people, they get caught up in the emotion of it, but halfway through, they usually drop off care. They won't make it to the next progress exam because they truly are a Band-Aid care kind of client. In an opportunity like that, it's better to discharge that person and welcome them back. Give them the opportunity to come back to your office whenever they want. So that's a few tips on the progressive examination and report module. I would urge you to make this thing an important step of the systems in your office, because chiropractic offices that emphasize and put a high value on their progressive exams often see a massive change in their long-term wellness clients. They'll stick around longer, and you're going to have more fun taking care of people that you love and respect for years to come. Thank you very much.